In the coming months, as this is being rolled out into clinical care settings, what are things that the clinical community, clinicians themselves, and just we as a clinical community kind of need to be in mind of as this is being rolled out? And, you know, just any lessons that we're trying to learn as we're rolling out something like this, which is obviously new and novel in itself.
The first point is I would say 99.5% of neurologists and headache practitioners are completely unaware of digital therapeutics. There is a tremendous need for education. And I've been working with colleagues at the American Headache Society and uh, CME vendors to see if we can address that need because we're going to need to teach our colleagues about digital therapeutics in a hurry because this is already FDA approved. Uh, the other point is that the pivotal papers need to get published. Again, I've been working with my colleagues to try to get these articles submitted to reputable journals and published as quickly as possible because that will help educating practitioners in both in the quality of the studies as well as in the utility and the practical aspects of it. In the meantime, what practitioners can do is look up the AAN abstract that did give the data from the pivotal trial. That is available. So that is a place that's the door cracking open a bit. But I would think in the next 3 to 6 months, a lot of education will become available, that the papers will be published, and that will enable us to help our colleagues in terms of understanding this opportunity. It's really a tremendous opportunity. And the additional drop in monthly migraine days when the app is added to prevention is not inconsiderable. And not only do the monthly migraine days go down, but patient-reported outcomes were also improved and actually made it into the FDA prescribing information. So migraine quality of life measures, migraine disability measures, and the patient global impression of change, meaning everything, meaning how did the pervasive aspects of can you hang on one sec? Hi, I'm on a teleconference. Um, how did the pervasive aspects of the migraine get approached? Because when a patient says my global impression is that I'm much improved or very much improved, that's a that's a very important patient-reported outcome. To me, that's the most important patient-reported outcome, patient global impression of change. So all of those improved in comparison to the sham, and all of those improved despite the patient already being on migraine prevention. And to me, that's very dramatic, and especially in the absence of any kind of side effects or adverse events.
Last question for you, and I don't know if you're actually going to be able to answer this, but has there been any conversations from the company or just amongst other clinicians on ways in which we can continue to study this therapeutic? Obviously, it is, or digital therapeutic. Obviously, it is, just coming into the fold right now, but are there any ongoing trials in the background that you've heard of, or maybe just things that you and your colleagues have floated around in terms of new types of research?
I'm not aware of any further studies right now. They're trying to get their sea legs in terms of getting this out to practitioners. I think it should be studied in chronic migraine. I think that's the clearly the most important next step. I'm reassured by the fact that the neurologist who is in charge of this company and has been leading the charge on digital therapeutics is Dr. Shaheen Lakin. And Shaheen is a brilliant MD, PhD neurologist who was my resident at Cleveland Clinic when I was an attending. He was brilliant then and taught me then. And because he's a neurologist who really understands the therapeutic area, the quality of the research in these randomized control trials was extremely high. And as I mentioned, the outcome measures were conventional, orthodox, rigorous, and met FDA requirements for a pretty quick approval with a very generalized prescribing information package. I'm confident that Shaheen will continue to study this and see whether there are other ways of improving patient lives by using digital therapeutics and probably this particular app. But to my knowledge, right now, I think he's got his hands full just getting this out to practitioners and educating us in an area that we don't have a lot of experience with.